Hey everybody, Namaste. I don't even know what day it is that we've been quarantined, but today I woke up, it was after 12 in the afternoon. Yes, but I've been going to sleep at about 4 o'clock in the morning, so I'm sure everybody's schedule is completely screwed up. So let's try to find some solace and some solidity and some grounding here on our mat. So we'll come to hands and knees. Into your cat-cow. Any movements you want to add, the usual. Move your way, see what feels good in your body. Every day is going to be different, especially if you're up at 4 o'clock in the morning. And then step it into a downward facing dog. Again, find some movement here. And settle. Take your chin into your chest, and then let your head go. Press into your index fingers and your thumbs. Soften the knees, lift your tail way up towards the ceiling. Be as long as you can, feel some space in the armpits. Take a big breath in and open your mouth, sigh it all out. Lift your heels high, roll down to a plank pose. Let's hold plank for a moment. Just feel it. Feel the weight shift into the fingertips. Take a little rock side to side to feel the wrists. If this is too much, bring your knees down. Start to turn your fingers out. And then in towards your knees. Circle around, stretch out the wrists. Come back through center. Bring it back through plank. Take a full breath in. On the breath out, bring your knees down. Take it back to a child's pose. And soften your arms. So just let your forearms rest to the floor, let your forehead rest. Stay with your breath. Enjoy this moment of solitude, peace. If you have little kids running around, hopefully they're giving you an hour of space. And take your hands back behind you, interlace your fingers, and draw your knuckles back away from your hips. Find the length of the neck. You can sway the head from side to side. And come back through center. Reach the arms forward. Stay low to your mat and slither through for a Bhujangasana, low cobra. There's your breath in. Breath out, lower down. Now curl your right hamstring. Lift up. Press your right thigh into your mat. Lengthen the spine, keep the neck long. Drop your shoulders away from your ears and hug your elbows in towards your ribs. Exhale, lower down, drop your right foot. Take it back through child's pose. Bring your hands back behind you, interlace your fingers. As you draw the arms back, this time lift your chest and pull yourself up. And then let the knuckles find contact with the floor. Draw the shoulders back. Press up into a baby camel. Just allow yourself to peel open, drop your head back. And if you feel comfortable swaying here, do that as well. Draw the shoulders back, open the heart space. Tip the pelvis forward, press into the tops of the feet, the shins. And then soften yourself, come right back down. Slide your hands forward, we'll slither back. Bhujangasana, low cobra. Breath in to lengthen. Breath out to lower down. Curl your left hamstring. Lift back up. Press down into your thigh. Point the toes, flex the foot. See what you prefer. And then release, lower everything down. Take it back, child's pose, one more time. This time slide your fingertips back, tent up onto your fingertips. You come a little bit higher into your camel. Draw the shoulders back, pelvis forward. Big breath in. Big breath out. And then lower yourself down. Bring your hands forward, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Lift your right leg. Bend your knee, open your hip. Roll through your ankle, circle your knee, find whatever movement feels good here for release. Lift and lower out the left heel. And then find the length, down dog split. Lift your head, lift your chest. Press into your fingertips, so there's a bit of a back bend here. Now curl your right hamstring again, lift your left heel as if you're going to touch the back of your head with your right toes. Let there be length and some space. Then pull your navel into your spine, take it in the opposite direction, bring your nose to your knee, knee to your nose. Step your right foot forward in between your hands, drop your left knee and then spin your left foot. We'll come to a very low warrior two. Flip your right hand, take it back to peace, reach your left fingertips down to your mat. If it's a little far, maybe if you have a block or a book or a box. And lengthen to the right side. Tip it forward, rest your right forearm on your thigh. Come to extended side angle. Maybe the right fingertips come down to the inside of the right foot. So you have a little bit more space here, a little closer to the floor. Or maybe you sink the hips, see what that feels like. The whole time you're lengthening through the left side. Draw back through your left shoulder, neck is long. Now tip it back for peace one more time, but this time straighten your right leg. You can flex your right foot up. Lift up. Take your gaze down towards your left hand. Bring your right hand down and step into your left foot for a lunge. We'll come right into a twist here, lifting your left arm up. Reach overhead. Frame your left foot. Start to find some length through that left leg. The right heel can stay up. Come to a pyramid variation. Walk your fingertips forward, be as long as you can as you draw the left hip back. Fingertips come forward, drop your head, let your neck be long. Press into your fingertips, lift your chest, and start to walk your way over to the right. Wide-legged forward fold. Drop your heels, walk your fingertips a little farther forward, and put your hips back as if you're in a downward facing dog. Maybe the forearms can dip down towards the floor. Drop your head. Maybe walk your fingertips a little farther forward. Lay your shoulders down away from your ears. Shift the head from right to left. Slide your hands back underneath your shoulders and then walk your way to frame your right foot. Step your right foot back, flank pose. Lower everything down to the floor in the breath out. Bhujangasana, cobra on the breath in. Maybe find a little bit more length, a little more height. Chest comes up. If you like to straighten your arms, but just beware of your shoulders. On the exhale, lower down. Tuck your toes, engage through the quads. Draw the elbows in towards your ribs, pull your belly button in. Make your way into plank pose. Downward facing dog. Breathe here. And then lift your left leg. Bend your knee, open your hip. Find that same movement. Lift your lungs at right heel. And then open it up for down dog split. Lift your chest, lift your gaze, bend your left knee again. Bring your toe towards the top of your head. You can lift your right heel. Push the floor away. And then navel to spine, draw the thigh into the chest, drop your nose to your knee. Nice and round across the shoulder blades. Step forward in between your hands. Bring your right knee down to the floor this time. Spin on that foot and spiral up for a low warrior two. Peaceful warrior, tip it back. Extended side angle, forearm to thigh. Maybe bring your fingertips down to the floor. Shift through the hips if you did it on the other side. Let's take it back for peace. This time straighten your left leg. Flex your left foot. Gaze down at your right hand. Step your right foot forward. And twist your lunge, right arm lifts. Reach overhead, frame your right foot. Keep your back heel high. Pyramid pose. Take your time. Flex the right toes up. Find space as you breathe in. Shift the hips, see what feels right. And then maybe walk the fingertips a little further forward. Fold over your right leg. Breathe in, lengthen the spine. Walk your way to the left for wide-legged forward fold. We'll shift here, like Skandasana, opening the hips. Maybe the knees are bent. You figure how low you want to go here. And then walk your way to frame your left foot. Step back to your plank pose. Let's lower down knees, chest, and chin. Uyanasana Cobra. Exhale, lower down. Tuck the toes. Breathe in. On the exhale, make your way to plank. Downward facing dog. Walk your hands back to your feet. Soften your knees and wrap your hands around your hamstrings. Maybe you'll grab hold of the elbows. Really sink down so the ribs can connect to your thighs. And drop your head. And then slowly start to straighten the legs. Don't lose the contact between your ribs and your thighs. Keep tipping your hips up towards the ceiling. That tailbone goes up, draw your kneecaps up. Let the crown of the head sway over the floor. From here, release the arms, interlace your fingers behind you, and bring them over your head. And if you're starting to feel a little bit of tension in the shoulders, let the arms continue to shift forward. You can slightly bend the knees, as long as you keep the contact of your chest and your thighs. Then just lift your head as you breathe in. Just your head, not your chest. And as you breathe out, take your chin into your chest. Allow your arms to shift a little farther forward. Breathe in, lift your head, just your head. You'll feel your shoulders, that upper back big time. And then bring it down. Breath out. One more time, breathe in. You know you have delts, you know you have traps. And then bring your chin to your chest. From here, soften the arms, bring them towards the low back. Release. Take your gaze forward and walk your hands, come back to downward facing dog. Lift your heels. Roll through plank. Allow yourself to shift forward. Feel the weight in the fingertips. Lower down, Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Into downward facing dog. Lift your right leg high. Step forward in between your hands. Sweep your right arm up for a twisted lunge. Bring it down to frame the foot. Step your left foot forward to meet your right. Look up, breathe in. Full fold, breathe out. Big bend in the knees. Literally lay in your own lap. Your head hang. And pressing through all four corners of the feet. Start to roll to stand. Take your time. Shoulder roll once you get there. Tadasana. Inhale the arms up overhead, Urdhva. Bend your knees, mount down, soft fold. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, step your right foot back, lift your left leg high for a down dog split. Lay your thigh into your chest, step forward to the two of your hands. Lift your left arm up for a twisted lunge, breathe in. Breath out, bring the hand down, step your right foot forward. Breathe in, Lunga. Breathe out, full fold. Bend your knees, get heavy at the head and lungs. Take a slow roll, rise to stand. Roll the shoulders. This time take your hands back behind you, interlace your fingers. And pull your knuckles away from your back. Draw your shoulder blades towards each other. Puff your chest up towards the ceiling. Maybe you want to take your feet back as wide as your hips, a little bit wider. Continue to lift the chest, draw the shoulders back. And we'll find a little bit of a back bend here. Take your time. Come right back up. Soften the knees, forward fold, let your arms float over your head. Let it be soft this time. And then release your mind. Heel toe your feet together. Chair pose, Utkatasana. Bring your hands to your thighs. You can lift the chest and find that space. Draw your prayer to your heart. And as you breathe in, sink the hips, raise your prayer up overhead. Breathe in, rise all the way up. Look up toward your fingertips and trace a line on the ceiling. Let the pelvis tip forward, let the arms travel back. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale, forward fold. Lift halfway up as you breathe in. On the breath out, bring your hands down, step or float back. Vinyasa. And wind up in a downward facing dog. Bring your feet together, lift your heels high, draw your hips back toward your heels, take your gaze forward at the front edge of your mat. Take a little bounce here. And let's shift forward into a plank pose. Maybe roll to the tops of the toes. Pull back. Take that squat. Reach forward. Pull back. Do this a couple of times. Maybe we'll add a little twist here. Bring your hips over to the left side. So maybe it's a little baby side plank. Then come down. Shift it forward. Shift your hips over to the right side. Straighten the legs. Release the arm. And then come back to downward facing dog. Lift your heels high, bend your knees, take your gaze forward. Use that same sense of momentum. Shift it back and step or float to the top of your mat. Breath in to lengthen, breath out to fold. Sweep the arms up over your head, high prayer, Urdhva Hastasana. Draw your prayer right down to heart center, forward fold, Uttanasana. Breathe in to lengthen. Breath out, bring your hands down, step or float. Your Vinyasa. Breathe here. Big breath in. Open your mouth, let it go, sigh it out, shake the head. From your down dog, bring your feet towards each other. Lift the heels high. Take your gaze forward. Pull your hips back towards your heels. Take a little bounce here, a little twist. Release the shoulders, the obliques, the hips. Press into your fingertips and shift your weight forward. Maybe you roll over the toes. Come all the way into the fingertips in a nice strong plank. And then take it back on the knees. Shift it forward. Shift it back. Feel the momentum. You have 100% control of this. Hips to heels. Hold it there. Downward facing dog. Let's walk the hands halfway back. Not even. Maybe about 6 inches. Reach your right hand towards your left ankle. Press out of the left hand and find a twist here looking underneath your left arm. Release it, bring your right hand forward. Just change sides, left hand grabs the right ankle. Nice big breath in, breath out, find your twist. Your gaze is underneath your right armpit. And then come back through center, walk your hands forward. Lift your heels, bend your knees, take your gaze forward, step or float to the top of the mat. Breath in to lengthen, breath out to fold. Press into the feet, sweep the arms above the head, high prayer, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, soften the knees, melt on down to Uttanasana. Breathe in to lengthen. Breath out, bring your hands down, step or float. Your Vinyasa. So anyway, to wind up in downward facing dog. If you want to skip all that, just step back. It's your choice. Lift your right leg. Hop your left foot up just enough so the heel is down, and you can use that leg to balance. Walk your left fingertips forward. Bend your right leg and lift your chest. Now lift your left heel. So there's a bit of a back bend happening here, almost as if you're reaching your toes to touch the back of your head. Then plant your left hand, pull your knee into your chest. Nose to knee, get round. Step forward and come on up to warrior one. Cactus the arms, draw the shoulder blades towards each other, puff your chest up towards the ceiling. Funny interlace behind you. Breathe in, lay back. Keep the right knee bent. You'll fold for devotion on your breath out. Allow yourself to be as long as you can for as long as you can. With the crown of the head shifting forward, you're still drawing the knuckles back, so the shoulders are nowhere near those ears. Stay solid in the outer edge of your left foot as you continue to come forward and fold to the inside of your right leg. And maybe drop your head down to your foot or to the floor. Let the knuckles reach overhead. Press into the feet, big release. We're coming all the way up to a flying warrior. Straighten the arms and the legs. Turn towards the back edge of your mat. for a high skandasana. Just a fancy way of saying lunge. Onto a buoyancy here, flex the left toes. And then shift into a warrior two. Now you're up on your feet. Peaceful warrior. Extended side angle. Arm to thigh, fingertips to the floor. Allow yourself some space to lay back. Bring your right hand down to the floor, come to a twisted lunge, returning to the other side completely. Big breath in here. Lift up, reach for the ceiling. And then sweep your left arm over your ear. Reach underneath the left hamstring towards the front edge of your mat. And then your right fingertips will reach towards the back edge. Go pretty much backwards now. Spin your heels. Take your left hand to the outside of your left foot, so it's still wrapped underneath that left leg. Walk your right hand forward. And then take your right arm underneath your right leg. So your hands are behind the heels. Just finding a little bit more of a forward fold, maybe the crown of the head comes down to the floor. Bend your knees. Bring your forearms down to the floor, lengthen your spine and your chest. Turn your toes in and your heels in. You're in a very low goddess. And then we'll sway. You may feel the thighs a little bit. All good. And then bring your hands to the inner thighs. Lengthen the spine, lift the chest a little bit more. Ooh. On the breath in, rise all the way up, flying warrior. Breath out, warrior two to the front of your mat. Peaceful warrior, tip it back. And then spiral down your vinyasa. Bring your feet together, lift your heels, take your gaze forward, find that squat, shift into plank on forward. Pull it back, shift it forward. Shift it back, hold it here, downward facing dog. Lift your heels, take your gaze forward, soften the knees, step or float your way to the top of the mat. Breath in, lengthen, breath out, hold. Urdhva Hastasana, rise all the way up, high prayer. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Breath in, prepare, breath out, step or float back. Breathe. Take a big breath in, flutter out the lips on the breath out. That's acquired taste, it takes practice. Do it a couple more times. I have one student who absolutely loves doing that. She's very good at it. You'll know who you are if you're watching. Lift your left leg, please. Hop your right foot up just as much as you need to so the heel is down. So you're not going that far. Then press into your hands, lift your chest, bend your left leg. Tent up onto your right fingertips and keep lifting the chest. Navel to spine, tuck it in. Step your left foot forward in between your hands and come on into warrior one. Draw the arms back past the ears. Start from here. Draw those shoulders back, puff your chest up. So there's the back bend. It's more of a heart opener. Interlace your fingers with the other thumb on top. Lengthen, breathe in. Lay it back. Tip it into devotion, take your time. So as the crown of the head reaches forward, the knuckles and the back edge of that right foot continue to reach back. So there's that opposing push-pull. Your gaze is your right foot. Press into the feet, start to rise up. Find your flying warrior, take the arms up over your head, spin towards the back edge of your mat, high skandasana. Hip hop. Come into warrior two. Peaceful warrior. extended side angle. Lower your left hand. Come to your twisted lunge, big shift. Lift the ribs off the right thigh. Sweep your right arm over your head, duck deep underneath the right hamstring, tent up onto the right fingertips, walk the left fingertips forward. Drop your head and start to straighten your right leg. Take your right hand to the outside of your right foot. Turn towards your left for that wide-legged forward fold. Walk the left hand forward. And then take that behind your left heel. Maybe your elbows will connect to your calves. Walk your fingertips farther through the legs. Heel toe your feet in a little bit. Tip your hips up towards the ceiling a little bit more. Round down into your fingertips. Tuck your chin into your chest. Lift your gaze, drop your hips. You allow them to touch down towards the back of the arms. So you're not sitting on your joints. You're just lightly tapping. Then take the arms up into a prayer. Turn your toes out and your heels in. Your back to goddess. Sweep the arms up overhead first. Now the legs will follow straight. Open up warrior two to the front of your mat. Peaceful warrior. Float it down, Vinyasa. Big breath in, big breath out. Okay, lift your right leg. Hop your left foot in. Bend your right knee, lift your chest. You were here already. Now tent up onto the left fingertips. Keep pressing out of your right hand and your left foot, so eventually you can lift your left hand up off the floor. If you're happy here, this is where you stay. If you want to move on, reach back and connect to your right foot. Keep your foot into your hand and continue to lift your chest. So your back bend. Keep lifting. Take your time. And then with control, release the foot. Step it forward. Let's come to warrior one. So make that left hand never comes down. Take the hands back behind you and twist your fingers. Breath in lifts you up to lay you back. Breath out, let's shift it into warrior three. So take your time here. Just peel the left toes up off the floor. Keep your right knee bent as long as you need. And eventually straighten it out. Keep drawing the knuckles back. Lower your left hip if you feel like it's popping up so the toes are pointing down towards the floor. Soften the right knee again. Step it back. Flying warrior. Turn towards the back edge of your mat. High skandasana. Warrior two. Right into peace on the breath in. Breath out, extended side angle. Or maybe this time you wrap that right arm around your back for half bind. If you want the full bind, get nice and low underneath that left hamstring. See if you can grab the right wrist. And then lengthen, lay it back. Release the right arm up. Bring it down and going for a twisted lunge in the opposite direction. Lift your left arm. Now sweep the left arm underneath that left hamstring. Drop nice and low at the hips. This time, wrap the left arm around that leg. So let's see the outer edge of your left foot. Lower your right thigh, your right knee as if you're coming into Anjaneyasana. Curl the hamstring. Press into your hands. Lift your left heel. Straighten your left leg. Now chuck it under the arms. Tuck your right toes under. Float the right leg. Push it all the way back. Take it to your rock star. Left arm lifts up. Keep projecting the hips up towards the ceiling. You want to take this into full wheel. You can do that. Come back to to down dog, split, left leg goes high. Step forward. Peaceful warrior. Flying warrior, straighten the left leg, find a high prayer above your head. Forward fold. Walk your hands through the legs, bend the knees. Press into the fingertips, let your head go, and heel toe your feet a little closer towards each other. So we're narrowing the stance here. Take the arms through the legs and wrap your hands around the ankles, essentially bringing your calves up over your shoulders. We're setting up for Titivasana. Give yourself a moment. And then when you're ready, bring your hands down to the floor with your fingertips right behind your heels. Your wrists are facing away from you. You can have a little seat here, jump under the arms. You can sit on the triceps, lift your gaze, lift your chest, press into your fingertips. Let the feet get light. And then maybe you cross the ankles, using the strength of the legs to reinforce those arms. If you want to come to the straddle, you'll extend. Straightening the arms, sending them out. Now lift your hips. Wide-legged forward fold. Sweep the arms up. High prayer, flying warrior. Warrior two, back to the front of your mat. Peaceful warrior. Floated down Vinyasa. Lift your left leg. Hop your right foot up just enough. Bend your left knee. Walk your right fingertips forward. And everything you did on the other side, take your time. It's a big balance. Really press into your left fingertips and reach your right hand forward if it's coming up off the floor. Keep lifting your chest. Reach your right hand back. Connect with your left foot and kick your foot into your hand like you would with dancer. Keep lifting your chest. Lift your gaze. You're pushing out of that left arm. Release, take your time. Step your left foot forward. Warrior one. You can put your hand down. Take the hands back behind you, interlace your fingers. Breath in. Lift up to lay back. Breath out, tip it into warrior three. Breathe. No rush. Soften, take it back. Flying warrior. Turn to the back of the mat, high skandasana. Warrior two into peaceful warrior. And you wind up in an extended side angle. Half bind, full bind. This time you're grabbing hold of your left wrist. You can straighten the left arm and lay back. Notice your breath here. It's restricted. Come out of the bind a little bit. If you can breathe, it's all good. Easy release to your twisted lunge, left hand down, right arm up. Sweep the arm up overhead. Get low underneath your right hamstring. It's time to thread that hand to the outer edge of that right foot. Lower your left thigh, coming into an asana leg. Curl your hamstring. Press into your hands. Take some weight out of your right foot. Straighten your right leg. Chuck it under the arms. Tuck the back toes. Float the knee. Push it up. Rock star. Down dog split. Right leg is high. Step forward in between your hands. Out through warrior two. Flying warrior. Forward fold. And then this time if you want to come into an inversion, you can do that. Headstand, forearm balance, handstand. Take your time, make it yours. Take your time coming down. No rush. Float the arms out to a T and bring your hands to your shins. Lengthen the spine, hold here for a breath or two. We're just upside down. On the breath in, flying warrior. Breath out, warrior two to the front of your mat. Peaceful warrior. Float it down, vinyasa. Breathe. Bring your feet together, lift your heels, pull your hips back, take your gaze forward. Play with that plank, back to squat. And take a little hop here. Take the legs wide, like a frog, and then we'll wind up in our yogi squat or asana. So when you're ready, let's breathe here. Reach your right fingertips out past your right foot, sweep the left arm up, we'll find a twist. Maybe wrap the arm around the back for half bind. You can bring your left hand right into the inner thigh of the right leg to secure the bind. If you'd rather take the full bind, wrap it around the right leg. Again, you're going for the left wrist. Straightening the leg back. Lift your chest. And then release. Bring your hands to prayer. Take your feet a little bit wider. Interlace your fingers right at the base of the skull. Take the elbows wide. Now let's fold the chin to the chest. Drop your chest in between your thighs and bring your elbows down to the mat. Just find a little more length in the neck. And try hard on this one to be a little softer. And then release on the prayer cart. Use the triceps to take the legs a little wider. When you're ready, you'll twist over to the other side. Left fingertips to the outside of your left foot with your right arm. Half bind. Grab the inner thigh. Or take the full bind. Grab your right wrist. Release. Turn your toes. And then heel to, we'll come to chair pose, Vinyasa. Sweep the arms up, nice and easy. Breath in, rise all the way up. Breath out, wing the arms back, float the chest up towards the ceiling, find a back bend. Inhale the arms up overhead. And let's come back to chair. Shift the weight into your left foot. Lift your right knee into the chest and come to a figure four. Now this is where a block might come in handy. Lower your hips and then thread your right arm behind your right calf. So your right hand essentially acts as your right leg. And find a twist lifting your left arm up towards the ceiling. From here, wrap your bicep around the sole of that right foot. Scoop your right shin up and we'll come to a standing pigeon. Grab hold of the outer edge of your right foot with your left hand, and we'll open it up to Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana seat. Move slowly. Take your time. Take your right arm overhead. Grab hold of your right foot. Start to lift your right foot up towards the ceiling. You're changing your gaze. Gaze is going higher so you can lift the right toes and lay it back. And then maybe you look up at the ceiling. And lay back a little bit more. Take your time. Release your right foot down to meet your left. We'll fold it here. Give your head a little shake. Heel toe your feet out a bit. Let's come to yogi squat. Shift it side to side. Release the ankles, toes, and heels. Bring your hands down. Lift your hips up. You're in a nice deep forward fold. Turn your toes to face your wrists. Lift your heels, shift your weight into the arms, feel your fingertips. And then maybe float your feet. Yeah, that's something to play with. Chair pose. On the breath in, lift your left knee. And come to a figure four. Bring your left hand through behind the left calf. Bring some weight into your left fingertips. Bend your right leg a little bit more. Sweep the right arm up towards the ceiling for your twist. Wrap your right arm around your left foot. Scoop up that left calf and bring it on up to a standing pigeon. So if you're serving your left leg. Grab the outer edge of your foot with your right hand. Release the left arm and twist it. Vinyasa. Reach overhead. Oops. Grab hold of your left foot. Take your time and start to lift. So you're still projecting the left foot forward. Turn your gaze. Keep the arms strong. And then take your time, release. Left foot comes down to meet the right. Forward fold, let go. Heel toe your feet. We'll go wide in our yogi squat. Then we'll take it all the way down to the floor. So before we come all the way down, give you a moment to have a drink, take a breath. Play with our arm balances because there has to be some trick that you all can play with. So we'll flow into it and then we'll come back into our back bend. So come to downward facing dog. Lift your right leg. Step your right foot forward in between your hands. Twist your lunge, lift your right arm overhead. And then thread your right arm underneath your right leg. You're coming back to frame that right foot, bring your right hand across. Press into your hands, take the weight out of your right foot and wrap your right foot around. Your right leg is around your right arm. Start to shift it forward. And you can float that left leg up off the floor. Now maybe you pull your left knee towards your tricep. So now you're in a half crow, half lizard. Straighten your right leg. Straighten your left leg. And you're back in Vinyasa. Pull it back for crow. Your Vinyasa. Okay. Get the look off your face. We'll try it again on the other side. Big breath in. Big breath out. This is what quarantine does to us. We have a lot of time to make up some crazy stuff. Alright. Lift your left leg. Step in between your hands. Twist your lunge. Make room here. That's what we're doing here. Thread the left arm under. Frame the left foot. Press into your hands. So you're hollowing out a little bit, becoming a little round in the shoulders. Pull your belly button into your spine. You can lift the hips. Then you can lift the left foot and float it up. When you're ready to go to crow, straighten your left leg. Vinyasa. Crow. Vinyasa. This one will come down to a child's pose. Take your hands back behind you, drop your head. Find some room. Okay, take your legs out in front of you. Give a little shake Inhale the arms up overhead, introduce your fingers. So find the length without driving the shoulders up into your ears. Hip it forward. Paschimottanasana. Now reach your fingertips back. Keep walking back. I have a really nice grippy mat, so plug those fingertips down. Shift the head forward. Bring the ears towards the shoulders. And let it go. Tuck your chin into your chest, cross the ankles. And we'll come up onto our knees. So now you have options here, as always. We will come into a camel pose. You can either tuck the toes under to elevate the heels a little bit, or bring your feet flat if you know you're going for your heels. So we'll start with the hands right at the sacrum, right here. So instead of pushing forward, we're going to press down. Draw the shoulders back, shoulder blades draw towards each other. Keep puffing your chest up towards the ceiling. Hold yourself steady. Let the pelvis tip forward. Keep drawing the shoulder blades towards each other. Maybe drop the head back, you're looking at the ceiling. Maybe you're here. Maybe you reach back for your heels. Keep opening the chest, dropping the head back. And when you're ready to come out, bring your chin to your chest, take your hands to your hips, and then have a seat down on the heels. Prayer at your heart. And just breathe here. So we'll do that one more time. If you want to come into your camel, into your Vishyasana. If you prefer to come into wheel, you can come into wheel. Or if you want to make the combination, the transition of the two. So I'll show you the transition. You know how to come into wheel. So you take it where you want it to go. If you're going into the transition now, tuck your toes under because you're going to be pressing out of the balls of the feet. And if you're used to coming to a really tight, where you bring your forearms down to the floor, instead of reaching close to your feet, you need to reach away a little bit. This way you have room for the momentum to bring you into wheel. If you're too close to your feet, it's an odd angle and the momentum will help you lift. So we start from here and take your time. Breathe in with them. Draw the arms back as if you're coming back into wheel, like a drop back, keep lifting up. Hands come to the floor, use the momentum and straighten out the legs and the arms. And then any variation, but with legs. Maybe you come down onto your forearms from here. Maybe bring your shoulders, your chest through the arms a little bit to feel the shoulders a little bit more. Do what feels good for you. And whenever you're ready, no rush, bring your chin to your chest and then lower yourself down. And once you're down there, take your feet to the outer edges of your mat, allow your knees to fall in towards each other. Take your right hand over your heart, your left hand over your abdomen. Just breathe. If you feel like swaying your knees from side to side, you do that. Feel like taking your arms up over your head in a cactus shape. That might be a nice release. And pull your knees into your chest. Wrap your arms around your shins. Bring your nose to your knee, your knees to your nose. And then take the arms wide. Lift your right leg, cross it over your left. So either wrap it once or twice in an eagle. We'll drop the knees down to the left side. Turn your gaze up over your right shoulder. And drop your palms down towards the floor. Use the left arm so you don't flop into that left side. And come back through center. Kick your right leg up. Kick your left leg up. Take your arms up over your head and bring your toes into your hands. So this nice light halasana. Nice easy plow. You can play with the rock. Use your hands, use your legs, the arches of your feet, your fingertips, give a little massage. And then roll yourself back down, nice and easy. Bring your feet down, kick your left leg, cross your left leg over your right, either single or double, and your eagle. Take the arms out to a T, bring your knees over to the right side. Let that right foot come down to the floor before the knees touch. Use the right arm, turn your gaze to the left. And bring everything back to center. Kick your left foot up, kick your right foot up. Roll the ankles. Point and flex the feet, toes. Come to happy baby. Maybe straddle the legs with a lot of hip opening. Toes will come down to the floor. You can lift your head, your shoulders. Maybe press down on the heels with the calves. And then find Shavasana. So with your recline for your final sheet, whatever that might be, maybe bring your legs up on the wall. If you happen to have a wall, just throw them up there. Enjoy the last few moments of peace in your practice. The kids are calling you. And I want to thank you so much for joining me in practice. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them for me, and I'll answer each and every one of them. And hopefully we can, I will go to sleep at 4 o'clock in the morning tonight, and we can bring a little bit more normalcy back into our lives bit by bit. And if you like live stream classes, I'm doing a live stream class starting tomorrow at 12:30, which is Tuesday, for NewYorkLovesYoga.com. You can go onto that website. Or Saturday at 12:30, I believe, for Real Hot Yoga. And you can go on to that website as well. So thank you so much. Namaste.